Hey guys, this is Walden Light from Walden Light Baseball on Instagram and the founder of Build Baseball. Welcome to our first Q&A video, and in this video we will be talking about how to optimize your focus. In future Q&A videos I will try to do more questions, but I just feel like this is a very important question. It has a lot of components, so I want to make one video for it right here. Before I start, I would like to say that if you have any questions or topics you want us to cover, leave a comment below or DM us on Instagram. And okay, so first let's get into what is the importance of focus. Now, focus determines the execution of reps off the field, not just in a game but also in practice. And those reps that you take determine your habits, which determines your consistency for success. So it can really be thought of as focus equals your reps equals your habits equals your consistency. And I know that may sound like a slippery slope a little bit, but those are directly correlated and they will lead to each other. And the intensity and focus you give during practice is the main determinant for how you're going to play in a game. And also, focus just allows us to pick up everything on the field, and that can be big factors to small factors, from the pitcher's release point and the speed of the pitcher to smaller things like what is the handedness of the outfielder and how will that affect his ability to throw the ball in on certain hits to the outfield, things like that. So even really small specific stuff. So if we're focusing during a game and we have optimal focus during a game, then we will have optimal success because we'll pick up on things that we can use to our advantage on the field. And that is really the importance of focus. Now, before we get into the factors that affect focus, I would like to mention the main causes of a lack of focus, and that really comes down to two, and that would be a lot of distractions in your brain or just a lack of positive energy that keeps you on task. And we will address some of the different strategies you could take based on what you feel is the cause of your lack of focus that you may have. So the first main factor that can help with your focus is just energy levels, and energy is just our fortitude or capacity during mental or physical activity. So our focus is determined by our energy, and there's a lot of ways that we can increase or get our energy levels to an optimal level and keep it there throughout the day. And sleep is a very important part of this. I will address this in a later episode, and I'll leave the link in the description. Nutrition, there's a lot of strategies for nutrition in terms of energy, but really just having the correct pairings and having a healthy amount of protein, carbs, and fat during each meal, and that just balances out processes in your body. And also it helps with it also just helps slow the release of sugar into the blood and stabilizes your blood sugar throughout the day. Body language is another component of energy. If you act more energetic and more positive, then you're more likely to be excited for certain tasks, even if they're tedious, and it will keep you on task and more focused in that regard. And we kind of talked about this in our Building a Foundation Mindset series that I did, and you can click on our channel, go check that out. I talked about how changing from the outside in can help you, because if you act a certain way, eventually your mindset will change. So if you act really focused and energetic, eventually your mind will change to that, and it will help you adjust. And another way we can increase energy is through breathing, and this doesn't necessarily help with the energy part, but the positive energy part of it. So when you are breathing mindfully and focusing on your breath, that directs you to one single task, and this is good for the people who feel like they have a lot of distractions, and that's what causes them to be less focused. When you breathe, it brings you to this one task, and then you could transition from one task which is the breathing, to practice or the game or whatever it may be, whatever you're working on, even if it's in school for a test or anything like that. It's easier to transition from one thought than it is to transition from 5 to 10 or more thoughts. So breathing helps you in that way. It also gets oxygenated. It also gives oxygen to your blood and oxygen to your heart to get oxygenated blood throughout the body to help you with your bodily processes to keep you focused and to just help that energy part, which is your capacity to engage in physical and mental activity. And activity is another part of it. This is the opposite end of that spectrum pretty much, where it would be like if you don't feel like you have a ton of distractions necessarily, you just get lackadaisical and how you go about your practices and your games, but you want to improve that and you want to be more energetic. Activity is a good way to do this throughout the day. It's probably better for you to stand. During a dynamic warm-up, you could utilize it to be probably do sprints before the game, something that gets the blood flowing. And this could help you increase your energy and get you more excited for the game and makes the task, helps you like engage more in the task and stay focused. And that's just for people who feel like they don't necessarily have distractions, but they feel like they have trouble focusing because of just maybe like how tedious a certain drill may be or something like that. Just being active throughout the day can help improve those energy levels. A strategy that you can use to improve your focus is to utilize physical cues. I was introduced to this by my brother and also his mental coach, who he had at the time, and now I have as my mental coach. And really, it's just designing an action that has meaning to you and is also big and definitive. So when you do it, you know it's supposed to transition you to a focused mindset that is based on your values, and also, but at the same time, it's also repeatable so that you could do it in any environment, whether it be school or on the field or really just anywhere out in the world. It shouldn't be so big or so unique that you can only do it in one specific environment. You could utilize it in any area of your life. And really, a physical cue is just supposed to help you remove yourself from distractions and also just refocus on the task at hand. And some examples would be my brother Gus. When he played baseball, he would pick up dirt in between pitches. He would throw it down, and he would imagine it being him taking all his negative thoughts and then throwing them away, and he would just be focusing on the one task at hand. And mine is, I just pretend to unplug with my hands. I call it the unplug, and I do this. I take a deep breath. I just bring my hands together and then pull them apart, and I think of it as like me detaching from my negative thoughts and focusing on the one task at hand. So in that way, it has meaning for both me and my brother. It's also big enough that it would be definitive. We know that it happened and it's supposed to transition us. It's also repeatable, so we can do it in the game and it's not a hassle to do, and it's easy to do between pitches. And yeah, it really just serves that purpose, and it helps you refocus because it's a physical cue to get you focused and concentrated on the single task. And just like how we talk about breathing down here can help you with your energy levels, it also can help you here. So I suggest that when you make your movement that gets you into that mindset, you want to use a breath because it helps clear your mind, it relaxes your body, it gets the oxygenated blood to your mind and your heart and throughout your body, and it helps you with your performance. It calms you down, and that's an important component of physical cues. So the last factor that affects your focus that I want to talk about is discipline. I've talked about it before, a lot before really, and it's because it is very important, and it is a mental strategy that has helped me out so much. And I started using this last summer when I was reading The Mental ABCs of Pitching by H.A. Dorfman, and his philosophy is that you should use your rationality to define what you need to do and then commit to doing that no matter what. And really, you define what you need to do to accomplish a certain goal or to be a certain way, and you just commit to it no matter what, no matter how you're feeling. And this really helps you be the most consistent that you could possibly be, because regardless of your energy levels or your motivation or emotions or anything like that, you know what you need to do and you go and do it, and it helps you be the most successful you could possibly be day to day. And that's more consistent than using your emotionality, which fluctuates on a daily basis. So that's it for this Q&A. If you have a question or a topic you want me to cover, leave a comment or DM me on Instagram at WaldenLightBaseball. For more content, check out buildbaseball.com. And that's it. Thank you. And remember, you only have one.